These Copter cover-ups for November 9th, part 2. So I left off at the part where I was explaining how it seemed like there were two copters, or that they tried to make it seem that like there were two. It was some form of trick anyways. So at 6:46, when he mobbed back up, it seemed like he was going to come up the curvature of Lucero from Jeronimo Street, but then he didn't, and then so I didn't see him. And then at 6:50, I was looking out, and he mobbed up left to right down the Copter pocket up Geronimo incredibly fast, and then he came up to Caladad and fall to DeSale intersection and continued up and out and went out behind that way towards Caladad DeSale intersection. And so it seemed like that was the time when they switched it and be like, oh, there were two helicopters, because how did he get back out there and then mob back so fast? So I'm not sure if they used to, or if whatever they did, though, it was purposeful to do it out in front of me, and to come the same direction shortly afterward would make it be like, oh, well, that's two copters, because it came from that direction also. And then at 7 p.m., it approached from Fall to DeSale, so it was going right to left then in the Copter pocket, and it changed its lights, and then it mobbed out towards Geronimo Montia intersection. So it changed lights, and it did all the tail waves, and I think it even did a slight turn for the 24191. And then at 7:06 p.m., it returned, and so that is purposeful because of the event where I recorded him down at the park, and then he returned and chased me back to my house, and came up, and I deleted the apps and recorded him, so he mobbed straight back up. And this is the thing where, oh, well, if I do a straight line, that accounts for circles, because that's on my straight line routine. But he has routines, everything's a routine, and everything crosses over everything, so there's no order to it, it's all BS. And so at 7:06, then he mobbed back up from Olivera Castilla intersection on an angle towards my house, so it's like a diagonal like that, and he came, and it was weird, it was like he wanted to be seen, and then he flew over my house with the nose down, like a lot, like it looked like someone was holding the helicopter up by the tail. And he changed the lights, and then at 7:07 he made it to the end of my street, and he did a left turn over 24092 and then changed the lights again, and then he did left circles at the Deseo Falda and then Geronimo Alicia kind of intersection, like all down around there, and he kept doing circles, and I recorded every time he came back closest to me. I recorded it so that I have the count for the number of circles, but I don't have it right now in my review. And so he did the circles, and then eventually each side of the circle he would change his lights. So on the side closest to Geronimo, he had it red-orange, and then as he came out and cleared my view from the two-story house, it would be white-orange, and then he would switch it to white when his right side was closest to 24092, and then it would start to go the white-orange again when his right side was closest to Alicia, and then when it was closest to, it was left circles, and when it was closest to Geronimo, then it would be red-orange again. And then he did that, and then he kind of moved it down towards the two-story house a tiny bit, and then back, and then he moved it slightly towards Geronimo, and then back. And so that was to cover all the area. They had one night where they did it insane like that too, to spread it all around and have like the return, because of the event where they led me down to Geronimo Alicia intersection with the K9 unit, and then followed me back, and also the 11:30 night where they led me out and then tried to spotlight me and then chase me back. And so at 7:34 then so from 7:07 until 7:34 he did circles there, and then he left and came back on the Copter pocket. So he came down and crossed over behind the two-story house, and then he did 3 circles at my house. So they were basically like 24181 across the street was in the center of the circle. 24191, 181, and 171. I think it was 3 circles or 4 circles. And that was to sell the hill. He was ascending and descending on each side of the circle to say, oh, this massive hill. That's why all the helicopters turn here, because it's a huge hill and there's a tree. And he changed his lights on each side of the circle. And then I looked down as I was fixing a video, so he either did a right U-turn or a left U-turn. I think what he did was just finish another left circle, but a small one, so it seemed like a U-turn behind 24181. And then he left and went left to right in the Copter pocket up towards Alicia Geronimo intersection. And then at 7:45, I saw him mobbing left to right down the copter pocket, but out of Geronimo, and that was the same kind of situation as earlier, where it was seemed, oh well, that must be a second helicopter, because why would he be flying so fast from out there if he just came from that direction? That doesn't make sense. And then at 7:48 p.m., I saw it way out at Geronimo Los Lisos intersection, because it was a continuation, and that is kind of similar to the events earlier today, where they started making it where you go all the way out to Geronimo Los Lisos and then back in Caladad, Deseo, and Geronimo to make it that huge square.